20 signs your girlfriend might be too jealous. Have you ever found yourself pondering whether your girlfriend or potential romantic partner might be excessively insecure, to the point where it could negatively impact your relationship? Well, I'm here to guide you through a comprehensive list of 20 warning signs that might indicate the woman you're interested in or currently dating is grappling with significant insecurities. But before we dive into these 20 indicators, let's take a moment to explore the origins of insecurity. Generally, insecurities stem from challenging past experiences, particularly those encountered during our formative years. These experiences, especially those related to our early romantic or familial relationships with parents, primary caregivers, or other influential figures in our lives, can leave a lasting imprint. We internalize these interactions, allowing them to shape our expectations and perceptions of future romantic connections, even if those early experiences were dysfunctional or unhealthy. In a sense, we're all a bit broken or carrying some emotional baggage. The key question becomes how we navigate a relationship that might also be broken in some ways. How much can we tolerate? How do we effectively manage the challenges that arise? Now, let's delve into the specific signs that might suggest she's battling with excessive insecurity. It's important to note that these signs are presented in no particular order, but any of them should trigger a sense of caution and warrant your attention. One such sign is her reluctance to let you spend time with your friends, regardless of their gender. If she's uncomfortable with you hanging out with others, that's a potential red flag. Another indicator is if she frequently belittles you. While playful teasing can be a part of a healthy relationship, I've even created a video discussing the nuances of appropriate versus inappropriate teasing, which you might find helpful. There's a distinct difference between lighthearted banter and something more malicious. If her teasing feels like a veiled insult, a dig with a harsh edge, or if it touches on something she's genuinely not proud of you about, that's not a positive sign. Thirdly, and this somewhat relates to the previous point, she may exhibit jealousy towards your achievements. Instead of celebrating your successes, she might downplay them, try to diminish their significance, or even ignore them altogether. The underlying reason for this behavior often lies in her insecurity. She might fear that by acknowledging your accomplishments, she'll appear less valuable in your eyes, potentially leading you to leave her. These are all unconscious self-preservation tactics, but they're still significant warning signs to be aware of. The fourth sign is a tendency towards being a drama queen, constantly seeking excitement or conflict. If you've ever encountered someone who thrives on drama, you likely have a good understanding of what this looks like, so I won't elaborate further on that one. The fifth indicator is an insatiable need for your constant attention, coupled with negative reactions when she doesn't receive it. For instance, if you don't respond to her texts immediately or if you have social plans with others, she might become moody, aggressive, or create unnecessary drama. Sixthly, and in a similar vein, she might show up unexpectedly or uninvited when you're spending time with friends. This could stem from suspicion about your whereabouts or a simple desire to be included. However, a healthy relationship requires a degree of independence and autonomy, so this behavior is definitely a major red flag. Alongside that, the seventh sign is a tendency to become overly defensive or easily agitated. For example, if she shows up uninvited and feels slighted because she wasn't explicitly asked to join, this could be a manifestation of her insecurity. Imagine you're at a sports bar, enjoying a game with your friends, and she happens to be there too. You casually mention that you plan to spend the evening with the guys, and suddenly, she becomes upset and storms off. In this situation, you might feel compelled to chase after her, but this reaction is a significant warning sign. It's a clear indication of insecurity. Next, consider this: if she gets jealous when you talk about other women, even if they are just friends with whom you have no romantic interest, that's another red flag. Jealousy over platonic relationships can signal deeper issues. Another concerning behavior is if she accuses you of flirting, even when you haven't done anything of the sort. If you have flirted, it's essential to understand the boundaries of your relationship regarding such interactions. However, if you haven't engaged in any flirtation and she still brings it up, that's a major warning sign. Additionally, if she constantly needs to know your whereabouts, who you're with, and what you're doing, it reflects a high level of insecurity. This need for constant updates can be quite overwhelming. Moreover, if she keeps a close eye on your social media activity, scrutinizing your posts, likes, and comments, that's another red flag. She may even interrogate you about why you liked a particular post from a friend. This level of monitoring can feel invasive and is indicative of trust issues. Alongside this, if she insists on checking your phone and text messages, demanding access to your private conversations, it shows a lack of respect for your personal space. This behavior is unhealthy and can lead to significant problems in the relationship. Now, if you've previously made mistakes, such as cheating or being caught in a compromising situation, her insecurity might be justified. However, the behaviors mentioned here are about situations where you haven't done anything wrong, yet she still exhibits these insecurities. Another sign to watch for is if she requires you to keep read receipts on your text messages. This means she wants to know exactly when you've seen her messages and may expect an immediate response, even if you're busy. This expectation can be quite burdensome. Furthermore, if she poses loaded questions that seem to have no right answer, such as asking if a particular outfit makes her look unattractive, it can put you in a difficult position. If you answer negatively, she may accuse you of being dishonest, and if you say yes, you could find yourself in trouble. This behavior often stems from insecurity. Lastly, if she pressures you to cut ties with your ex without any valid reason, it can create tension. Some people believe that maintaining a friendship with an ex is acceptable, provided there are no lingering romantic feelings. If you feel comfortable being friends with your ex and she is not, it may indicate a fundamental incompatibility in your views on relationships. When it comes to relationships, one significant indicator of insecurity in a partner is their tendency to compare themselves to your ex. For instance, if she frequently asks questions like whether you enjoyed certain activities with your ex more than with her, or if she wonders if she is as attractive as your former partner, these comparisons can reveal deep-seated insecurities. This behavior, which we can label as sign number 16, often stems from a lack of self-esteem and can be quite telling about her emotional state. Moving on to sign number 17, if you notice that every argument you have seems to revolve around her jealousy, this is another red flag. Instead of discussing more neutral topics like differing opinions on politics or religion, if the core of your conflicts is her jealousy, it indicates a serious issue that needs addressing. Sign number 18 highlights a broader pattern of insecurity within the relationship. If she is constantly seeking your validation and reassurance, it can become exhausting. While occasional check-ins about your feelings are normal, especially if there has been some distance between you, if she is reaching out for affirmation every day or multiple times a day, it suggests a deeper problem. Another concerning behavior, which we can refer to as sign number 19, is when she uses intimacy as a means to manipulate or maintain your interest. If she frequently resorts to physical affection to smooth over her jealous tendencies or to keep you engaged despite her problematic behavior, this is a significant warning sign. It indicates that she may be using sex as a tool to distract from her insecurities, which is unhealthy for both of you. Finally, sign number 20 is perhaps the most alarming. If she consistently talks about wanting to change but her actions never reflect that desire, it's a clear indication that you are dealing with a situation that requires serious consideration. If you recognize several of these signs, it's crucial to reflect on why you are in this relationship. It may be time to evaluate your own needs and desires. Ultimately, if you find yourself in a relationship characterized by these behaviors, it's advisable to distance yourself from her. This situation is not conducive to your well-being. Even if she claims she will change, the reality is that if you tolerate her negative behaviors, you may inadvertently lower your own self-worth. She might eventually realize that she deserves better and seek someone who embodies the strength and value she lacks. In my next video, I will discuss strategies for addressing these insecurities, but for now, if you identify multiple signs of insecurity, it's best to consider walking away. Remember, seeking help from a professional can be beneficial, but it's essential to prioritize your mental health and well-being. It's important to recognize that neglecting your well-being can lead to a life that feels unfulfilling, and that's truly a sad way to spend your time. I hope you found this information useful. Be sure to stay tuned for the upcoming video, which I believe will be the second part of this series, unless, of course, you have more questions regarding this subject. In the next installment, I will discuss practical steps you can take when you find yourself grappling with insecurities related to a girl or your girlfriend. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. I realize I might be going on a bit, so I'll wrap it up now. Don't forget to check out the next video. Thanks again.